Hello there everyone. I know it's been a while since I've done a video on this channel, but I want to, sorry, something popped up on my computer screen. I wanted to talk to you about what happened today. Number one, let me back up a little bit. I started my third class last week. I had my first session for my third class last Monday, and we meet every Monday online from like 6 to 9 or 6 to 9:30, and it's going to be going through the beginning of October, I believe. And this class is on investigating Christian theology. And so pretty much this is like part one or part two, in class for part two. And it's just, I'm doing a lot of required reading for this class, and it's very complex, a lot of ideas I don't understand, things don't make sense to me, so I'm hoping to learn more and like expand my brain so I can understand some of the things I'm reading in these books. I have 2 books I have to read for this class. We have a certain number of chapters we have to read every week, and we have, of course, writing assignments we have to do. So, but in the class, I've only taken 1 session so far, but it's going pretty well. Again, it's just very complex. It's very, a lot of big words I don't understand, things like that. So I'm hoping to learn more and be able to really grasp what's being taught. But today, I was presented with my local minister's license at church. And this is something we have been planning since March. That's when I was initially approved for it by my local church board. We sent the forms and the paperwork off to the district office for approval, and there was delay after delay after delay. And so it was very, very frustrating because, we've been waiting for this, license to arrive for months. And apparently we missed some type of background check that had to be done, and some type of letter I had to send to the district office, and just a lot of misunderstanding, miscommunication happening between us and the district office. And so pastor finally got the license in the mail like a week or 2 ago. He's like, okay, when do you want to do this? So I have a person I wanted to have there when I got my license, and he's a local minister, but he's an amazing guy, and he's really impacted me in terms of my life, my ministry. I wanted him and his wife to be there for this special day. So he said the day he had available, the soonest day he had available would be August 25th, which is today. And so we scheduled the presentation of my local license for today. My dad and his romantic partner Lois were supposed to be there to video record. They weren't supposed to be there to record, but they were going to record it while they were there. But my dad got very ill, had to be taken to the hospital. He's now home from the hospital, but he's far from well right now. So he was not able to be there. So I really had no family or friends that don't already go to church there. So that's kind of a sad thing. But anyway, Pastor did the presentation before he started his sermon. It's about halfway through the sermon, maybe a little more than halfway through. And he began by talking about what the license represents, the seriousness of it, what it stands for, and what the person is expected to do now that they have the license, what they have to do to earn the license or to be approved for it. So the pastor talked for a good 4 or 5 minutes about the license itself and about how you have to, be consistent in ministry and all this kind of stuff. And so then he had a chair set up in front, and not on the stage, but on the floor in front of the stage. And he had me come up and sit in a chair. And he had 2 people who, after he handed me the license, he talked about how proud he was of me and this big step in my life. And then he had 2 people pray over me. One was the man who I asked to be there, the man who said August 25th was the first date he had available. His name is Don Cross. and he's a licensed minister. He works in hospice care a lot, and he has been a huge inspiration to me. And so he prayed over me, and then the new associate pastor of our church, Jared, prayed over me as well. So Don Cross began, and he anointed my head with oil. He just put like a dab on his finger and put his hand on my head and prayed over me. It was very meaningful. And then Jared, the associate pastor, did the same thing. He spoke to me about what things I need to keep in mind, what this represents, what the next step is, that kind of thing. And he laid his hand over me and prayed over me as well. And it was a very, very powerful, very meaningful moment for me in front of the whole church, which I hate attention being on me. So it's something that I'm never really comfortable with. But it was a special moment. Then when I got up and returned to my seat, everyone clapped for me, and so I wanted to show you guys the license here, yeah. So I'm gonna do one thing first. Hold up here for a second. Hold up for 1 second. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna try and block some of this out. But one thing before I show you the license, one thing that was funny, and a couple of people chuckled about this. The local minister's license has to be signed by the church board secretary. And guess who's the church board secretary? So I had to sign my own license. So that was interesting. But I went ahead and put it in a protective sleeve to keep it clean, keep it nice. But I'm gonna show it to you, but not show you some of the information on here. But see right there, local minister's license. And it says, this is to certify that I am licensed as a local minister in the Church of the Nazarene for 1 year, provided that my spirit and practice are such as become the gospel of Christ, and my teachings correspond with the established doctrines of the Holy Scriptures. I can't say that word very well. Established doctrines of the Holy Scriptures as held by said church, by order of the church board, and it has the name of the church and then the date. And of course this says it was given the 7th day of July. It was not. It was probably sent to my pastor on that day, but I didn't get it till August 25th. So, but this license is so special to me. It means so much to me. I love it, and I'm just blocking out some of my personal information, but yeah, I'm very, very happy to have it. It's wonderful, and it's a very special moment. It was dulled a little bit by the fact my dad was sitting in a hospital room while I was getting this, having this done. And I got a text from Lois later on saying that he was home now, but they do want him to have an MRI done as soon as possible. I know this is not part of my ministry thing, but I just want to tell you. But anyway, she said he has to have an MRI done for some of the problems that he's having. So they're going to have that done soon. But it was an incredible moment. And again, I'm not very comfortable being the center of attention. But it was to have these two men who I greatly respect and admire pray over me and anoint me with oil, which is so special. And to hear Pastor talk about the license and talk about my being in the ministry and all this stuff was really, really just so special to me. I'm rambling on, aren't I? I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded. I love you guys so much. Thank you for your support, for praying for me if you are. I appreciate it more than you know, and I will just keep you updated on how the class goes and what happens with that. But right now, I feel as if I'm a high school graduate reading a book about open heart surgery, and I'm just like, I'm not understanding half of this stuff. So, hoping my brain will expand and I'll be able to understand more as I go along. But it's just just like the classes before. It's a very complex, intense class. A lot of information being pushed at you at one time. And it's like 3.5 hours every class session is 3.5 hours. So it's a long period of time that you're listening to all this information. I'm going to go and go, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.